Hello, everybody. Today we are going to talk about the science of shame. Okay, there are a lot of negative emotions. There is anger, there is sadness, there is lust, lot of things that are called negative emotions. But I think shame is one of the most dangerous negative emotions and something that has basically destroyed society and mostly women in every kind of way. So we're going to examine why exactly shame exists. What is this shame? There are two kinds of shame, major shame, right? One is shaming you for something you have, something that is unique, something that is different. And the other is shaming you for something that you don't have, that you could have become this, you should have become this, you will become this, you have so much ambition, potential, etc. All of these are just different types of shaming. So you must be aware of this shaming. What exactly does shaming do and how powerful is shaming? Shaming is so powerful because basically we are scared of being ostracized. We don't mind being beaten, but we are so scared of being ostracized. And it is because that if everyone leaves us, we'll be alone in this cold, lonely jungle, right? So it is so bad that a child who is neglected, right, has more psychological issues than a child who is beaten, because at least the beaten child is touched. It is so bad. Okay, so you have to be very aware of this and aware of why you can get shamed and why people around you can get shamed. Now we are going to go through the system of shaming, okay, how shaming works, and then we are going to backtrack and try and understand how to counteract shaming. Point number one, create a concept. You have to create a concept. You can be this, you should be this in you is wrong, this is how things work, this is how life works. All of this is absolute rubbish. Okay, you must look at a concept for what it is. Number two, create an enemy. When you create an enemy, okay, you reinforce the whole thing. Don't be like that person. That person is trying to harm you. Okay, this is a thing that is not supposed to be done. All of these things are creating an enemy, and it reinforces the thing because it taps into your survival instinct. Number three, okay, repeat in different manners, right? What happens is that wherever the person goes and whichever door he or she knocks on, they should all say the same thing. This is how religion works. Okay, everyone is saying different things. Technically the words are different, but the meaning is the same. Jesus loves you, whatever, God is with you, etc., etc. They're all trying to reinforce the same thing, and because they are also reinforcing it to themselves. Remember, if people don't change over the years, there is something very suspicious going on there. Okay, number four, create meaning in the sense of you have made a book, a gospel, okay, a system, etc. All of these connects the above three things seamlessly: concept, enemy, and repetition. All of these things happen in a book or in a system or the way things are done, right? Everything has a system. A company has a system, a religion has a system, a culture, a society, anywhere with more than one person, I feel, that has a system. Even one person should have a system. But then a generally agreed upon system happens with even more than, say, three or four people, right? Then uh, you gaslight the person. Number six, you gaslight the person. All questions, fears, feelings, all of these are completely neutralized when you say you are wrong. Okay, you are imagining things. These are not how things work. This is you must always go by the gospel, by the book, by the rules, etc. So they are gaslighting you. They are making all your feelings, all your questions invalid. And number seven, stereotyping. When they take advantage, they've just put you in a certain category, and then they're saying you have to sit in that category. Now, even within the system, there are categories, and each person fits in a certain category. Women have to cook and do that. Men have to go to work and do that. Everyone's category is different, and then any category that they don't have a category for, they'll call you crazy, they'll call you mental, they'll call you whatever. Right? So that is your stereotyping. Now, what is the solution? Okay, so remember, shame and science are on two different ends of the spectrum. Where you have shaming, you cannot have science. If you remember your bullies, if you remember people who bullied you, or if you were a bully, you will remember that all of this was not scientific. It was just anything. You're just shaming a person for shaming the person. And which is why a lot of people find it funny at that point of time. But as you go ahead in life, you have to realize that science and shaming are two different things. So how do you counter this? With simple logic, right? what you have to do is you have to hammer the concept. Number one of shaming is what? Concept, right? So break that concept. Do not call people out for shaming you. That is just stupid. That is you being a whiny crybaby saying, oh, you said this, you shamed me, that's wrong. No, 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 no. Let people trip on their own logic. First, you ask them, how does this work? Tell me, explain to me. Let me give you an example, okay? When they say women must have children, so if someone says women must have children, you're like, why? And they're like, no, that's what all women do. I'm like, is that all a woman is born for? Like, is that what you're saying? And the person will say, no, 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 but it's natural. And then you're like, but what is natural? How many children is natural? Right? Then they'll be like, no, that is how nature works. You must reproduce, you must be. So they're like, okay, if that's how nature works, then why are you living here? Why are you living in this concrete jungle? Go and live somewhere else, right? Go and live in a jungle, go and live with this. They're like, no, we are humans, we are better than animals. So I'm like, then you say, if we are better than animals, then why should we reproduce? We are already not listening to nature by not living in a jungle. Then maybe we should go to the next step and maybe not have a child. Similarly, with all things that have shaming, with all things that have a subtle repetition, you must realize that all of it is unscientific. The moment people repeat things again and again, it is bound to be unscientific. Okay, even science itself, when people keep saying this is science, remember that at some level they are insecure. You must do your own research, you must understand for yourself. Okay, because science itself keeps changing. Scientists are skeptics, right? So keep being a skeptic, keep looking at things as they are because they are eternally changing. So so remember, most people don't even have concepts. Okay, they are simply repeating what has been said to them. Make them aware of it. Okay, talk in such a way that they feel ashamed when they are exposed, when their own thought process is exposed. Nothing exists in isolation. Everything can be understood. Don't agree and disagree. Okay, don't agree but understand. Dismissing anything is shaming you. Don't dismiss anything. Try and understand where that person is coming from, and then make that person aware of where they are coming from and how flawed it could be. Okay, ignoring anything, laughing at anything, or shaming anything when saying this is unscientific is simply, it's going to come out in ugly ways. I feel that is how the right has become so suppressed and so aggressive today, because we just shame them. They're like, no, this is not scientific. But why don't you understand them? Why don't you get their point? Try and treat them well, treat them like opponents. If you don't even treat something like an opponent, okay, you're going to lose it and it's going to come back at you aggressively. So do not call things out, do not ignore them. Okay, understand them, study them, and make the people aware.